Community Viewpoint.
Hydrate with the weather. Death Valley Park Rangers say hydrate. If they say hydrate, you know hydrate. So I'm John Pawlak, your host for this edition of Community Viewpoint. Got to do something different sometimes. It's getting hot, and it's getting to be close to the 4th of July also. So we're going to be talking about a parade that's going to be happening. It's been around for a few years now. We have the event coordinator for this year's parade, and that is Linda Wright. Linda is to my right, right?
Right.
So please let us know what's happening this year, please.
Well, we're having our annual 4th of July parade on Tuesday, July 4th at the Calvada Eye, and it begins at 9 a.m. with lineup at 7 a.m. And we're also going to have a pancake breakfast at the Eye, and that's sponsored by the VFW Post 10,054, and that begins at 6 a.m. So come on down.
From what I understand they used to put beer in the batter, but because of some of the people that are there, we can't do that anymore.
Correct.
So there's no beer in the batter. Sorry, if that's what you're looking for. So that's the breakfast, which starts at 6. It'll be right in the Eye over there, in the grassy area.
And the cost is $5.
Yes.
And you get sausage with that pancake.
Sausage. So come on down there. It'll be Mike. It better be cool that time of the morning.
Hopefully, it won't be too hot at
Yes.
6 a.m. and at 9 a.m. and
there'll be some little music playing over there.
a lot of little music, and bring your lawn chairs and scope out your view of the parade.
Yes. And then the parade is going to consist of going around the Eye?
Going around the Eye and back up to the staging site, which is on Calvada and Honeysuckle.
Okay, it's in that first plaza there?
In the Kalen Plaza.
The one folks that have been there before, you'll know where we stage, and also the street that's back there also will be staging back there also. So you'll probably see either from Linda, myself, or other folks the registration for the event. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
We do have a registration form, and you can get that from myself by calling me at 775-419-7857 or emailing me at lwright.la.vfw@gmail.com, and I'll get you a registration form. And the entry fee to participate is $25. And you can make those checks out to the VFW Post 10,054. And we're looking for classic vehicles, horses, performance like marching bands, dance, drill teams, any commercial, floats, bicycles, non-commercial, motorcycles, and any kind of animals that are on horses too. So come on, join us.
What else do we have that's not horses? But anyway, yeah.
Pigs.
So,
Dogs.
And dogs too. Yes, you want to bring your pets over there, please
Just
do that.
Remember to keep
put 'em
them
on a leash.
hydrated.
Yeah.
And keep them leashed.
And keep yourself hydrated also.
Right.
So we'll be doing that. We have large floats, small floats, anything in between. Flatbed trailers, if you want to set that up with some balloons and some ribbon and stuff. Nothing. It doesn't have to be really fancy. This is Pahrump.
And we have 5 categories that we give trophies on, and that's most enthusiastic, most patriotic, judge's choice, most family friendly, and most original. So put your thinking caps on and get an entry.
Right. And remember, clothing is not optional. So that's not. But anyway, where am I going with that? But anyway, you have to dress accordingly too.
Yes.
The Western wear would be great. And
patriotic is always acceptable.
That's number one, yes, patriotic, and then Western wear. So anything else we have to know about that? It's getting close.
It's getting close.
Yeah, it'll be by the time this comes to air, it'll be just a little over a week. And it's an odd time that's happening this week. It's on a Tuesday.
It's on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of the work week.
So hopefully we'll be able to get enough people involved to, because we're going to have to rush to bring them in, and that's why we're asking you to please register so you could be part of this also, because you'll be off that day anyway, usually. So
Yes.
Come on down, might as well participate in this. Yes.
Yes.
So that's the big thing we're talking about. And now, what did I say, it was like 12 days before that. Right now, it's like 102, 103 days before something else that's really big that's coming to town. It's called the RAM event. This came here last year, and I have a little video from the RAM USA folks, and it explains it. A lot of people that were there know what it's about. So this will be about 5 minutes and 4 seconds, or 40 seconds. So it explains it very well. So we'll be back right after the video.
Millions of families are living in a crisis because they cannot access health care. Millions of people live in pain, suffering from preventable disease and hardship. Remote Area Medical, RAM, responds to their needs by providing free quality mobile clinics. In less than 12 hours, RAM turns schools, stadiums, jungles, and arenas into fully functional medical centers able to provide dental, vision, and general medical care to thousands. Families are so desperate for this care that they begin to line up 48 hours before a RAM clinic begins, often sleeping in their cars to make sure they get one of those precious numbers which will ensure them entrance. For many, a remote area medical RAM clinic can mean the difference between life and death, between securing a job and struggling to make ends meet. For some, it means providing for their family and improving their quality of life. And for every person who receives care at a RAM clinic, it means stopping the needless pain and suffering they have to deal with every day. Our mission is fueled by private donors and driven by the power of volunteers. They join forces to support people who have nowhere else to turn. We all face hard times in life, and everyone needs a helping hand at some point. RAM extends that helping hand with a mission to provide free quality health care to those in need. RAM works with local partners called community host groups. A community host group gathers resources, rallies sponsors, and recruits volunteers on the local level to ensure a successful clinic in their community. RAM works to empower and equip these local partners to fulfill their own mission and purpose. As a result, RAM and communities converge on a shared mission as we roll up our sleeves and address our problems head-on. Together, we can make a difference, and together we can lead hurting people to a better future. As local leaders prepare for the free RAM clinic, they work directly with experienced RAM staff to build effective strategies and address the crisis their community faces. They need to understand the scale of the clinic and what it takes to provide quality care and follow-up. The demands of the clinic include an appropriate venue to facilitate the hundreds and perhaps thousands of potential patients, water and electricity, security, logistical support for patient and volunteer flow, food and lodging, all must be organized, and RAM helps the local community host group to stay on task to achieve our shared objectives. By joining with a community host group, RAM is able to offer a turnkey, comprehensive clinic using millions of dollars worth of mobile units and equipment and a cutting-edge registration system, as well as experienced RAM personnel. RAM also shares the burden of cost with the community host group, so the expense of the clinic does not drain local resources. RAM has always worked to bridge gaps in our healthcare system. A person who needs a dentist cannot go to the emergency room to fix their teeth, and a person who needs an optometrist cannot go to a walk-in clinic to get a pair of glasses. Many families cannot afford their insurance deductible. Unfortunately, RAM may be their only source of health care. When a patient comes to a RAM clinic, they may face a long wait in line, but they receive professional medical services and it's free. They meet doctors who want to help them. They meet people who care. When patients leave, their suffering has been eased, their hope has been restored, and their lives have been improved. They often hug volunteers, thanking them for providing what they needed but couldn't afford. Volunteers leave the clinic knowing their help was needed and appreciated, and the experience brings fulfillment and joy to their lives. Remote Area Medical is a pioneer of no-cost healthcare, and we continue to set the pace to create a better and healthier future for the underserved communities in this country. I started RAM to serve those remote areas of the world that have no access to healthcare. But then I discovered that there were millions of impoverished people right here in the United States. So we've become the champion of the sick and the poor and the underserved. In fact, the voice of millions of people who simply cannot get the care that they need. So you can become part of something that makes a real difference and help us bring free, quality health care to millions of children and their families. Please join me on this compassionate journey of hope, and I do trust that I can count on your support. Thank you very much.
So that's a little bit about the RAM event. Last year was the beginning of October, as it will be this year again. It's going to be October 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Nye Communities Coalition, 1020 East Wilson. You will start hearing a lot more about that in the coming weeks as we count down the next 100 days prior to that. So look forward to that. You'll read about it in newspapers, see it on TV, this TV station, radio, and whatnot. So, Linda, if you want to end the show talking about the parade.
Everybody come out on July 4th to the parade at 9 a.m. and the pancake breakfast at 6 a.m. Cost is $5 a person. And if you want a registration form, call me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Community Viewpoint.